I grew up in Malaysia. Church really never meant anything until when I was 17 at the Chinese church. That's where the pastor was preaching about John 15, and that's where I got the message into understanding salvation.
Growing up, I learned how to honor the Lord and how to love Him. The Lord was such an integral part of my life. When I came to Georgia Tech for grad school, that's when I met Seng.
Amy and I, we got married within about a year.
I became pregnant with twins. However, the twins were born prematurely. And I remember holding them in my arms and just crying out to the Lord and just asking why.
Seeing the process of the babies being born and then just a few seconds later die was difficult.
The way that we coped with that was we just had to delve into work. We had a furniture import and export company.
I was going into China looking for factories and developing products. So I was so focused into growing the business, not knowing that I was falling into the sin of idolatry, whereby I was putting this whole business and as the pedestal of my life instead of Christ.
One night, Seng came back from a trip, and he said to me, I really need some help. I really need your help. Can you help me? And I said, yes, I can help you. What is it? And he told me about an affair he had. And that just shattered my world.
The only way that we are able to heal from our wounds is just being transparent before the Lord and say, God, this is what I've done wrong. Forgive me, heal me.
At that time, we decided we had to run to the Lord. So we set an appointment to meet with Brian Maxwell, and he had great wisdom for us. And I asked him the question, are we supposed to have a divorce? He said to us, well, you could. However, the Lord would get the greater glory if you were to work it out.
In my counseling, I was expecting, why did you do this? You knew very well this was wrong. All I saw was just a compassionate man with grace and with love. I never saw that in a Christian church before.
I realized I had to extend forgiveness, and that's how I could help my husband. Each time I think about withholding forgiveness, I think about Christ on the cross and how he extended his forgiveness to me. So my husband had an affair with the office manager that was an employee of ours in China. She wanted to destroy our marriage, but decided to go after the business instead. So she took whatever documents and information she could find to try to destroy our business.
She basically reported into the US Customs, informing them that I had misclassified goods. And from then, it started a whole process of investigation. The Department of Justice, they sentenced me to a 14-month sentence.
A week before the sentencing date, I found out that I was pregnant. After the first trimester, my husband had to leave and serve his time, and I was alone. My husband had to go through these steps of repentance and reconciliation. And because of that, the Lord was able to work in our marriage to bring us together again. The Living Waters community really was our family. They loved us despite all the stuff that we had. We knew that we were not shunned or despised, but God loved us and He had a family to love on us. Seng came back to Atlanta in September, and at that time our son was 6 months old. And from there on, we have been able to be together as a family.
In my mind going through as to why the Lord wanted to bless us with this in the midst of the most difficult moments, I felt like the only answer I could give is God is gracious, and it's just out of His goodness that He wants to bless us. I personally believe that all this happened because of me not walking righteously. It's only with the power of the blood of Christ that can heal from a path of destruction to a path of life and fullness and wholeness.
The Lord has graced us with our son, Ephraim. We know that he is a miracle child. Each day is a gift from the Lord, and we're so very grateful. Our marriage is continuing to grow. I know without a doubt that He has been with us every single step. He has brought blessing and joy. And that's our God. He's amazing.